Okay, team, we are back in the Fireside PM podcast, and I did that review of the ChatGPT browser, and people seemed to like it. And then I asked in a poll, I think it was a LinkedIn poll maybe, what should my next PM product review be? And people asked for Chat PRD. There were a couple others, but that was a top one at the time. So I finally got around to opening up some tabs. I've got ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. I mean, we could add we could add Grok here. Hold on a second. All right, I'm also going to have Grok in here. So we basically are going to start with a back of the napkin PRD in Google Docs. I presume everybody agrees that you should have some formulated thinking before you dump it into the chatbot for your PRD. I suppose in the future maybe you could just do like a one sentence prompt and come out with the perfect PRD because it would just know everything about you and your company and the context. But for now, we're going to do this more little old school AI approach where we're going to do some original human thinking to put into the prompt so that the AI can give us something closer to what we're looking for. Or at least that's the theory. So for today's kind of hypothetical example, I'm going to try and bang out a quick and dirty PRD that is going to be for a AI-powered tutor for high school students. It may compete with maybe like a Khan Amigo or some of these other AI-powered educational things out there. But we'll just see like what it comes up with and see if there's any difference between ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok, or ChatPRD. And I think ChatPRD will be an interesting one because that will be a kind of, dedicated structured tool for PRDs that uses foundational models underneath, but presumably is tuned and optimized for what we're looking for. All right, without further ado, let's start with the quick and dirty. So we'll call this one back of the envelope. PRD for AI tutor. Okay, so we'll just start with a couple of boilerplate topics that most PRDs have, like we'll say why, target user, problem, maybe key elements, success metrics, risks. Okay, we'll just start with that, and then we will dump our kind of key bullet points into the general purpose AI, and then we'll go through the Chat PRD. I've not used Chat PRD before, so it'll be kind of cool to see how it kind of guides me through this. But we're still in the old school Google Docs, so let's make believe that we are building this as part of an existing, let's say, edtech business, and they want to introduce a new AI-powered tutor, like every edtech business these days. Okay, why are we doing this? So, want to complement our existing edtech business with a personalized AI tutor. Want to maintain position industry and grow through innovation. Very on mission for our company, which is to educate the world. Learners. Okay. I don't know. Target user, we'll say high school students interested in improving their grades and fundamental knowledge of foundational academic topics. And then we can be more focused here, specifically, say, science and engineering. Well, that's not foundational, so science and math. All right. Students who are not in the top 10%, nor in the bottom 10%. This is a product for torso students who are doing okay, but attend a school where the teachers are generally spending more time with gifted, accelerated learners and learners who need more support. Okay, so far so good. Let's bold these. And problem to solve. Okay, what's the problem we're trying to solve here? Students want better grades. College students don't want to, are impatient and not interested in long video lectures. Students currently use AI just for finding the answers and less to understand concepts and practice using them. Students want to feel like they are understood. Okay. I don't know, these are now becoming like kind of objectives. Requirements. Let's see, what else? Parents want to be involved and in the know, but not spying. Teachers may want to be in the know, but don't have a lot of time. Okay, that's good enough for now. And then we say key elements. Okay, one is it product has to assess and understand progress of student. Product needs to be able to help student gain confidence and mastery of weak areas. Product needs to be fun. There should be a collaboration angle with parents, teachers, maybe study mates. Product making. Product should be informative, but also interactive, but not so interactive that it feels like a test. Okay, success. User adoption, user engagement, score improvement, CSAT, premium revenue. Let's make believe it's ad funded. So there's a free and a premium. Okay, risks. Let's see. AI can't remember enough of students' entire history with the product over long periods of time. AI hallucinates and gives wrong info. AI is not good at giving explanations visually, or is too slow. Cost to run service exceeds willingness to pay. All right, so that's our back of the envelope, and now we're gonna work on the prompt. And I think what's fair is we'll use the same prompt for all of the off-the-shelf tools, and then we'll use whatever. I think we'll probably have to adapt it for Chat PRD. Okay, prompt. Okay, I am a product manager at tech company building an AI tutor. High school students, please see my initial thoughts below. Please ask me 5 questions. I will give you the answers, and then you can draft a PRD for me that I can share with my manager and team, technical, let's say, engineering and UX counterparts as part of our consideration for building such a product for next year. All right. I'm sure we could put way more detail into this, but this isn't like a real thing for me, so we're just going to do enough to test the different tools. Okay, so we will start with the OG, and that is ChatGPT. So I'm just going to copy all of this, and it'll ask me the 5 questions, and then we'll see what it produces, and then we'll do the same thing. Okay. Before drafting, I need to lock in a few decisions. Okay. Core use case and moment of value. When do you think when do you most want students to use this AI tutor? Okay, 1. So we're going to say at home at night as they are reflecting. Let's be honest, they're not reflecting. When they, as they are doing their homework and realizing they didn't entirely grok what the teacher went over in class. 2. Subject and scope boundaries. For year 1, what subjects and depth are in scope? Okay, let's just start with high school freshman year biology. All right. 3, student experience model. Should this feel more like a chat-first tutor, a guided practice coach with shorter interactions, or a hybrid with structured flows plus chat? Pick the dominant interaction model. I think we're going to go with guided practice coach. Yeah, we'll do a hybrid. Okay. 4. Role of parents and teachers. What level of interaction should parents and teachers have? Very minimal for now, just to see what student is up to. So teachers know if a concept is hard, is needs more explanation in class, or for parents to know that the student is making any progress. 5. Business model and constraints. Is this a free add-on to existing product, premium upsell? We'll say standalone freemium. But for MVP, we can just make it free for all. Okay? For now. All right. Here it is, the AI biology tutor. I'm not going to go over the details of the output yet, because I think I want to have all of them done and then we'll compare. So we're going to take the same prompt and dump it into Claude, and hopefully I will give subsequent answers that are fairly consistent. It's like a cooking show, waiting for the stuff to be in the oven. Maybe on the editing part of this video, I'll accelerate this. Okay, so now we have the questions. 1, what is the pricing strategy? We'll say freemium, but for MVP, we can go free for all. 2, MVP scope and timeline. What's realistic for V1? What's your target timeline? MVP that we can launch in, let's see, launch, how do we say this? Internal prototype in 3 months, closed beta in 6 months. Let's say 6 external testers, say 12. 6 months, beta in 9 months, MVP launch in, I don't know, 16 months. 3, competitive differentiation. How do you see this differentiate from existing tutors and the general AI tools already used? What's your unique angle? That is a good one. Open to ideas, but I think the engagement with students should be more of a long-term relationship with the tutor versus feeling like it's kind of off the shelf. Also, engaging a little bit parents and teachers could help it further. To be honest, I have not deeply researched the competition, so please keep me honest and propose opportunities for differentiation. So right off the bat here, I kind of like that Claude is making me think a little harder. Go to market. We'll just say, keep it simple. We'll say direct to consumer and word of mouth for now. Word of mouth with some cross-marketing from existing EdTech portfolio products. 5, existing product integration. Let's not worry about that for now. All right, that is good old Claude, and now we'll go to Grokky. Paste in our thing, enter. Definitely going to need to, oh wow, that was pretty fast. Here's our questions. What specific concepts? Okay, we'll say biology for high school freshmen. How do you envision the core user interface flow? We'll say web-based, optimized for laptop users with a hybrid of chat but also visual learning aids. 3, what pricing? Freemium, long-term but free for all. Okay, now. You know what's interesting? I'm already noticing that across the first 3, there is a lot of questions around go-to-market and stuff, but not as much around the actual product experience. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if all of these models have been trained on more kind of marketing-focused PRDs. But let's keep going. How should, now maybe chat PRD will shine here. We'll see. How should parent and teacher involvement work in detail? So parents and teachers get their own dashboard and summary report. What privacy controls are needed? Students should acknowledge and invite teachers and parents. That's What are your priorities for addressing the risks? Let's say here, for technical risks, I will rely mostly on my engineering counterpart. My main goal is to design great experience and product, and the eng team is awesome and will find a way. Okay. That is Grok, and now we're going to go to the fit for purpose tool, Chat PRD, and then we'll compare. Help me write a document. Yes, please. Tell me what you're working on. Well, I'm going to give you the same prompt. All right, so far, looks like I need a few fundamentals. Here are 5 focus questions. Okay. Scope and focus. What is the narrowest slice you want to ship? Ah, that's interesting. Already they're trying to get me to narrow it. That's good. I think the other ones just asked me what is it, but this one's kind of has a little more of a point of view. High school freshman taking biology, and who are average students, not accelerated nor remedial. 2, platform and integration. Where should this AI tutor live in? Okay, say desktop web app access from laptops. Web app access from laptops. 3. Experience and shape. If you had to choose one primary mode, what would it be? Chat, structured. Okay, this one sounds very much like ChatGPT. We'll say chat plus light practice with emph on light practice and visual aids. 4, data and measurement. What data will you realistically have access to at launch? How do you expect to measure? None. It will need to be learned by product as the student is using it or via onboarding assessment in the product. 5, business model and constraints. Bundled, paid, let's say standalone product, initially free for all, and then later freemium. Okay. So this will be interesting. I wonder for Chat PRD, what happens next? Like, so far it kind of felt like Chat GPT. But maybe this is where, I don't know. Oh, well, this kind of, so maybe Chat PRD's differentiation is somewhere else. Maybe it's like the collaboration element, but so far, well, we'll just compare what the output looks like. Yeah, okay, so the experience feels like ChatGPT, but maybe the output is a little better because it presumably has a little bit more PRD focused tuning. But while this is producing its results, we'll start with Chat PRD's output. Okay, here it is. Product requirements for AI Bio Tutor. Problem statement. Okay. Goals and objectives. I'll make this bigger for you all. Sure, that sounds like what I might have said. Target user, kind of, we already covered that in the napkin. Core use case, okay. This I didn't add, so this is new. Open the AI tutor, indicate what they are stuck on, or paste in a homework question, guided through a structured learning flow. Yeah. Practice with confidence building checks, leave it clear. Okay. Short focus interactions over long explanations. Yeah, I like this. Student understanding progress modeling, hybrid learning flow, concept reinforcement, confidence and motivation, progress viz. You know, this is good enough to have a conversation at least. Could see a meeting coming out of this. So I'm going to give, if someone shared this with me and I were leading the team, some ICPM, I'd say like, okay, yeah, let's have this conversation. It's probably a little, I mean, ideally this is where you would want to have some mocks. I don't know, for a giggle, should we even ask? Yeah, let's do this. Can you produce some UX mocks to help bring this concept to life? But overall, even without the visuals, I would say I'd give this one like a B, maybe like a solid B. And then what do we have here? This is a mobile app. Not sure that's okay. Another mobile app. I don't think that's that useful. Okay, so the visuals are not awesome. Oh, but here, topic clarification, lightweight assessment, guided explanation and embedded. Yeah. Confidence building practice. Okay, yeah. Session wrap up and reflection. Parent teacher read only view. You know, I'm going to say maybe B plus. I mean, like if some APM put this together, I'd be like, okay, I'd probably tag it up with a bunch of comments and ask for more specifics, like the different use cases and maybe the MVP kind of like, okay, but what will the engineers build for the first demo kind of thing? But this is not bad. Let's see what Gemini did. What happened? Dude, did Gemini just like freaking lose our thing? Hold on. Okay, I'm not sure what happened with Gemini. I thought I did it, but maybe I didn't. So we're going to do this with Gemini, and we'll answer these questions real quick. Freshman bio. Middle, 80%. Aptitude. 2. Chat with visual aids and then assessments and dashboard. 3. Collaboration angle. Which of the stakeholders is most critical? Parents, let's say. 4. Who want to know student is doing work and where and how they're doing in general. 4. Addressing the AI risks. Which specific product or content decision will you make to mitigate the risk of hallucination? I mean, honestly, I don't know if hallucination is as big of a deal as it was a year ago. Biggest risk is inaccurate assessments or recos for student. I'm confident foundational models are solid for the core concepts, like course knowledge. 5. Monetization. What is the initial pricing? Free for all, then freemium later. Okay. So while Gemini, oh, maybe is Gemini a little faster? Yeah, that definitely seemed fast. Okay, so what is it saying? Most effective, personalized, engaging, simple learning tool, primary target, not bad. Product features and requirements, concept, chat, inline visual aids. Well, this is kind of a cool visual. Assessments and progression system. Not bad. Parent connection. Technical requirements. Risk mitigation. Success metrics. Oh, I feel like this might be a little better than ChatGPT. Maybe a little. Maybe if ChatGPT was like a B, this one might be on the verge of a B plus for like an APM. You know, again, if we said, hey, look, just get us enough so we can have a concept kickoff meeting, like that's enough. Let's see how it is at visualization. So we're going to take the same prompt we did for ChatGPT, put it in here. Loading Nano Banana. Now this presumably is one of Gemini's secret superpowers. All right. Ooh, that was pretty fast too. Jesus, Gemini's getting fast. All right, let's see what these, your biology journey, biology coach with the progress thing, little assessment test. Yeah, I'm going to say if I had to pick between these two, I'd probably put Gemini a little ahead. Let's see, Claude. Okay, here's Claude. Nice little formatting up here. Executive summary. Problem statement. Target users. Yeah. Goals and success metrics. Competitive landscape. Whoa. You know, I have to say, ooh. Onboarding assessment, personalized learning, progress tracking, knowledge mapping, parent dashboard, teacher touch point, collaboration. Bro, I'm thinking Claude. I mean, I think we're in solid B plus territory here. Development roadmap. Whoa. Damn. All right, what about visuals? I mean, the visuals aren't that important, but even right off the bat, I'm thinking this one's in the solid B plus range. So right now, I'd probably say Claude, then Gemini, then ChatGPT. Maybe this is why Altman is calling a code red on ChatGPT. All right, let's see how. I don't think Claude is as good with image creation. Oh, interactive UI mocks? Let's see, baby. Oh, this is exciting. Bro, if this thing produces something that's clickable, that can win over some execs who are trying to figure out where to allocate headcount or resources, Claude will go from a solid B plus to, I mean, the Asian parent in me doesn't want to say it, but maybe even in the first letter of the alphabet category for an APM who what? Just jotted some crap down in a Google Doc and pasted it in, answered 5 questions. I kind of want to, well, I guess in the video edit I will fast forward through this. So why don't I pause here and then I'll unpause when this thing is done. All right, it's still running. It's been a few minutes. So what we're going to do is we'll let Claude build its visual kind of illustration while we look at Grok. Okay. Grok, let's see. I'm guessing this is going to be behind ChatGPT, but let's see. Product description, blah, blah, blah. Business objective, success metrics, target users. Okay, this feels like it's just taking my prompt and expanding it a little bit, whereas I felt like Claude actually made the thinking sharper. User flow, yeah, this one's fine. I would put it so far, Claude, then Gemini, then ChatGPT, and then Grok. There's nothing wrong with this. I mean, if you showed me this like a year or two ago, I'd say like, wow, that's amazing. This feels like, it's fine. Nothing to kind of get super excited about. All right, let's go check on Claude. Okay. Ooh, here we are. Wow, looky. Learn AI. What are you actually finding? The values of X. Now, this is not biology, like we said, but more of a math thing. The values of X where the equation equals 0. Yeah. Why don't we say, I'm not sure? Then what happens? Click. Oh no, all that coding and this is the result? All right, well, let's give it a different answer. Continue. All right, well, all that fancy coding. Oh, does anything work if I hit continue? No. What if I say back? We were off to such an exciting start, Claude. No. All right. Well, but I love where it's going. It just doesn't work. But maybe a little bit of bonus extra credit points for trying to actually create a UI that was usable. That's such a bummer. What if I refresh? Does that do anything for me? Continue? No. All right. Now we're going to finally use Chat PRD. Okay, here's the business goals, non-goals. Okay, wait a minute. I like the non-goals. User stories. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Parent story, teacher story, functional requirements. Okay, personalized practice and assessment. Okay, user experience. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's definitely taking off more boxes and covering more ground than the others. I feel like the Claude one does better for an executive audience if you're pitching like for annual planning, whereas Chat PRD is probably a little more along, okay, I'm a technical lead and I don't have a PM. What's the best PRD I could put together? Because this one feels like a human wrote this PRD. So, okay, I would probably say that, I mean, Chat PRD's it's probably, I still put it after Claude though. I'd probably say Claude, then Chat PRD, then Gemini, then ChatGPT, and then Grok. Now I'll do, just for giggles, we'll do one last thing and then we'll wrap it up because this is a 45-minute freaking Loom recording already. Please compose a one paragraph exec summary I can share over DM with a highly influential VP of engineering who is generally a skeptic, but super smart. Is that pretty much every freaking VP of engineering? All right, here we go. Well-constrained system, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Now we'll see what Gemini says. Yeah, I think this is a little better. Then we'll go to our reigning champion, El Claudio. Oh, maybe that little preview screen wasn't allowing me to run it, but there's a bunch of HTML that it has put together. So we'll check that out in a second. But let's just see what its pitch paragraph looks like for our grumpy VP of Eng. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, pretty good. I think I would put it in the similar order. Let's see, Grok. I don't have high expectations for Grok, unfortunately. Yeah, Grok is fine. I think maybe Claude's detail and sort of covering a lot of ground is a little bit better than Gemini, although Gemini's is nice and succinct. And then ChatGPT's feels a little kind of lowest common denominator, like just kind of like an average of everything out there. And then let's see what Chat PRD does. Or maybe getting close to the word limit for Chat PRD. Nope, here we go. Yeah, this is not bad too. So I think similar ranking. Probably Claude, then ChatPRD, then Gemini, then ChatGPT, and then Grok. Okay, let's go back to, if I download all of these files, see if it'll work. Okay, I downloaded all the files from Claude, and let's see if this will work now. Continue. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Well, they are HTML files, but they're not really like wired up and hooked up to work. That said, they are way better than the images that were generated by Gemini and ChatGPT. I mean, they may not be clickable and working, but they feel more like an actual UI. All right, takeaways. I think we know that for now, I'm going to say Claude did the best job. So if you haven't used a chatbot for your PRDs, or you're looking for a new one and you haven't tried Claude yet, I'd give it a try. The second thing was I liked the Claude, not only the text, but the concept mocks were the most compelling. They were like closer to like what a Lovable would produce or something like that. And then the third takeaway is that I think it really does come down to like, the quality of the prompt. So if our prompt were a little more detailed and were more thought through, then I'm sure the output would have been better. But as you can see, like, we didn't really put in like brain trust prompting here. Just a little bit of kind of hand wavy prompting, but a little better than just like one or two sentences. And we had some pretty good results. So let me know in the comments if you do your PRDs using AI differently. Do you start with back of the envelope? Do you say, oh no, I just start with one sentence and then I let the chatbot refine it with me? Or do you go way more detailed and then use a chatbot to kind of pressure test it? Curious what you all have experienced, but hopefully this was helpful and interesting. All right. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. There's also podcasts, and I think most of the audience is now on the Substack, although we do have a good number of LinkedIn followers. And then if you need any PM one-on-one coaching, or if you're a company and need some PM consulting around strategy, just reach out anytime. All right, let's get back to work and ship some greatness.